Okay, so you sent this over, and I have to say, it's a pretty fascinating article. This whole Salesforce Slack deal.
Yeah, definitely a big one.
I mean, cognitive market research really dug into it, and $27.7 billion. You don't just casually drop that kind of cash, right? So we're going to do a deep dive here. What were they thinking? What does it mean for, well, pretty much everyone working today? What's the future look like because of this? Big questions.
Absolutely. When you see a number like that, it's not just about the money. It signals like a major shift in the industry, a whole strategy change.
Right, right. So first things first, why did Salesforce buy Slack? The article says they wanted to beef up, I guess you could say, their enterprise ecosystem, integrate Slack's, whole communication platform right into what Salesforce is known for, that CRM stuff. Makes sense on the surface, I guess. You've got all your customer data in Salesforce, and then boom, you can just chat about it, collaborate all within that same system.
Exactly. It's about making things more streamlined, more connected. And the timing of it all, as the article points out, is really interesting. This was right when everyone was scrambling to figure out remote work, hybrid work, thanks to the pandemic.
Oh, for sure. Everyone suddenly needed these digital spaces where they could actually function as a team, even if everyone's spread out.
Exactly. And Slack, even before this whole deal, they were already known for being super user-friendly. And all those integrations they had with other business apps, that must have been a huge draw for Salesforce.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like easy to use? And connecting to all your other tools, that's got to be a major plus.
Absolutely. They'd really nailed the user experience, and that open platform approach where you can plug in all these different tools was really smart. Salesforce wasn't just buying the user base, they were buying that whole philosophy of integration and ease of use.
Now, we can't talk about this without mentioning the elephant in the room, right?
Right.
Microsoft. The article makes it clear Microsoft was going hard with Teams, especially because it was basically free with Office 365. You had to know Salesforce felt that pressure.
Oh yeah, big time. Bundling Teams with, the most popular productivity suite on the planet?
Yeah.
That's tough competition. For Slack, for anyone, really. So Salesforce saw this as a chance to fight back, offer businesses something that wasn't completely tied to Microsoft.
Right, so it's strategic, almost like, hey, we can be your main hub for communication too, and we do it differently than Microsoft.
Exactly. They wanted to stay relevant, stay essential as businesses became more and more digital, reliant on, instant communication, real-time collaboration. And to do that, they had to offer a real alternative to Microsoft.
And the article uses this phrase, platform shift. What's that all about?
It's this idea that people want software to do more. It can't just be one thing anymore. Your CRM, your communication, analytics, all of it needs to be talking to each other.
So like a whole suite of tools, all working together, not just separate apps.
Yeah, exactly. Companies want a seamless experience. They don't want to be jumping between a million different things. They want to see the big picture, make decisions based on all the information, all in one place. So bringing Slack into the fold gave Salesforce a big piece of that puzzle.
And the article mentioned all this market research that Salesforce did. I mean, obviously, remote work was blowing up. The pandemic pushed that into overdrive. But the research, it must have shown them more than just that, right?
Right. They were looking ahead, trying to figure out where is this all going. They saw the whole enterprise collaboration market was going to be huge, worth over $50 billion by the mid-2020s. They wanted to be ready for that.
And Slack, they were already the cool kids, especially with tech companies and startups. That must have looked pretty good to Salesforce.
Absolutely. It's not just about the technology. It's about the brand, the reputation. Slack was the platform that people actually liked using, so Salesforce saw that value.
And the research also showed that companies were realizing, hey, if our own teams can't communicate, it's going to mess up how we deal with our customers. It all ties together, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When your internal teams are siloed, customers feel it. It's frustrating. So by integrating Slack right into that CRM workflow, Salesforce was trying to smooth things out, make sure everyone's on the same page so they can give customers a better experience.
Then back to Microsoft for a second. The research, it basically confirmed what everyone was thinking. Teams was a major threat. This wasn't just about adding features to Salesforce. It was about taking on a competitor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The research gave them the data to back up their strategy. The opportunity was there, but so is the competition.
Okay, so this is a huge deal, right? Billions of dollars. Didn't someone have to, sign off on this, make sure it was all above board?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Regulators had to look at it, make sure it wasn't creating some kind of monopoly, and they approved it in 2021.
So what do you think? What were they thinking?
Well, they probably figured that the software market, the enterprise market, It's big enough, there's enough competition that this deal wouldn't, like, stifle innovation.
I bet some people were nervous, though, right? Like, Salesforce is getting pretty powerful.
Oh, yeah. That's always the worry with these big tech acquisitions,
Mm.
is one company getting too much control, what happens to competition, what happens to choice. It's a tough balance.
And what about people in the industry? What they think?
Mixed bag, really.
Hmm.
Some people thought it was a brilliant move for Salesforce. They're creating this, like, all-in-one platform. Others were more skeptical. Like, what happens to Slack's culture? Do they just become, another cog in the Salesforce machine?
And Slack users, I mean, they must have had some feelings about it.
Oh, for sure. You always get a little nervous when the platform you use gets bought up by a giant company, right? Like, what are they going to change? Is it going to cost more? Are they going to mess with the stuff we like?
And Salesforce customers.
They were probably more excited, like, oh, cool, new integrations, maybe some new features.
And Microsoft, they must have had something to say.
Probably just, the usual, we're still the leader, we're not worried.
Confidence.
Yeah.
I like it. So let's fast forward a bit. It's been a few years. What's actually happened?
Well, Salesforce immediately started integrating Slack into what they call their Customer 360 platform.
Okay, break that down for me. Customer 360, what is that exactly?
Basically, it's Salesforce's vision for bringing together all the different ways a company interacts with its customers. Sales, service, marketing, all that data all in one place. And with Slack, they're adding that real-time communication element to it.
So it's not just like customer data over here, team chats over there. It's all connected.
Right, so you can have those conversations, make those decisions, all within the context of the customer information. It's about speed, efficiency, making sure everyone has the same information at their fingertips.
Makes sense. And what about Slack? Now that they've got the might of Salesforce behind them, are they going after those bigger companies more aggressively?
Definitely seems that way. With Salesforce's, Salesforce and Resources, they've been able to go head-to-head with Microsoft Teams for those enterprise customers.
And they've also been talking about integrating Slack with their AI stuff, right? Like Einstein and all those automation tools. What's happening on that front?
That's where things get really interesting. Think about it. Slack channels, where customer data pops up automatically, conversations that trigger actions in Salesforce, AI giving you insights right there in your team chat. That's powerful stuff.
So Slack's not just chat anymore. It's becoming like the brain center for how work gets done within Salesforce.
That's the goal. It's the interface, the central hub, where you connect with people, get your work done, access all the tools and data you need.
And this kind of fits into that bigger trend, right? Where all these companies are trying to be like the one-stop shop for everything.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about consolidation. Businesses don't want to deal with a million different vendors. They want one platform that does it all seamlessly.
But of course, Microsoft's not just sitting around, right? Teams is getting updated all the time.
Right. The competition is fierce. Both Salesforce and Microsoft are constantly innovating, adding new features. It's a good thing, though. It keeps everyone on their toes.
So big picture, what's the takeaway here?
I think it shows how important collaboration has become. And these platforms, they're becoming more and more integrated, more intelligent. That's where the future's headed.
All right, so let's sum it up for everyone listening. This Salesforce Slack deal, it wasn't just about buying a cool app. It was a big bet on the future of work. Salesforce wanted to be the leader, not Microsoft. They wanted to give companies the tools they need for this new world of remote and hybrid work. And they did their homework. They used market research to figure out what businesses really wanted. It's a fascinating case study, and it makes you think, what tools do you use every day for work? How are they changing? And what does it mean for us when these big companies keep buying up everything? It's something to think about. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for having me.